Alright, so we ordered 2 of these heaters, and I'm going to put one in the greenhouse and I'm going to put one out in the woodworking shop. Now, we were going to run the natural gas line for these, but they wanted $4,700 to run I don't know, 20-30 feet of line. So we're going to put in propane tanks, bigger propane, not the 20 pounders, but we'll probably put in a 150 or 200 gallon tank, and then run these off of those. So anyway, got to open these up and get them ready to put in. Alright, so there's the front of this thing. Sorry about the shadow. Looks like these louvers are all hand adjustable. And we'll turn it back around to the back. Look at our information pack here. Figure out if this comes geared for or jetted for natural gas or propane. Alright, so we read through the manual here. We got a conversion kit that comes with this that has 3 new jets for converting from natural gas to propane, and it's got little stickers here and all kinds of stuff. We also got the brackets. There's 2 brackets, and they're shaped differently. This one has a couple notches in it right here, as you can see, and these are going to line up. These holes are going to line up with these screws here. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then this bracket does not have notches in it because it doesn't need to go around that fan, and there's a bunch of holes in it. There's a total of 6 holes, but we're again only going to line up for 3 of these. So 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. I'm sure there's different holes in here for different models, but this is the 50,000 BTU unit. So we're going to get those get this taken apart so that we can get the conversion kit in there, get the brackets on. We also have to hook up electrical cord or electrical power to this right here, and then it'll be ready to mount. And then of course we also have our flue here, and our gas line goes in there. Alright, so I'm going to need to change the orifice. There's 4 of these screws that go in here that I've taken out, and that allows this to rotate backwards. And if you take in a 1/2 inch or a 12 millimeter wrench, you can fit this on these orifices like this, and we can take these out. And then they give you 3 new ones here. We'll replace these old ones with the new ones. We're going to leave these in the bag so we don't get them mixed up until all these are out and discarded. Alright, so I got one of these universal appliance hookup kits for this project, and inside of this it comes with some special gas tape. It's kind of like Teflon tape, but I think it's made out of a slightly different material. It's yellow instead of white. And so I'm going to put this tape on the threads of this piece here, and I'm going to wrap it a certain way because I want, when I go to screw this in, I don't want the turning of this to undo the tape. I want the tape to keep being pushed on instead of being peeled off. So if I think about the way I have to screw this in, I'm going to have to screw it in clockwise for it to go tight. So that means if my trailing edge of the tape is the end of my finger here, it's going to want to roll up this way, and the tape is going to want to keep going on my threads. If I had it this way, if I had the tape on the top, the trailing edge on the top, and I turned it, it would want to push the trailing edge into the socket and would want to maybe peel it back. So we're going to put the trailing edge to where it's on the bottom if you're looking at the bottom of the threads, so that way when you turn it in, it's going to want to stay on the threads and not peel off because of pressure from the threads on the socket. So since I want my trailing edge to be on the bottom, I'm going to start at the top, and then that way as I go around, you'll see my trailing edge is now on the bottom. And I don't need much of this. Alright, so we're just going to smooth that down, and now that's ready to go on. Okay, I just wanted to point out, in case you do get these mixed up, the old ones have 074. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to rotate it to where it eventually catches the light here. And the other ones have 047. So you can tell these apart. If this one also has old white putty-like material on it, and the other ones don't, but they are numbered differently. So now we have to change the spring on this regulator here, and that's going to be underneath this silver cap here. It's slotted, so we can take that off with a regular screwdriver, and then there's another black cap underneath that we'll unscrew, and then there's a spring. We take that off, and then we have a conversion kit here, and we replace this with the spring and the cap and a final cover cap for the LP gas, and then we'll attach this. It's got a little sticker here. We'll attach to the side on this side over here that shows we've converted this. This only has a couple threads on it, and it has a gasket. And then if we look down inside there, we can see there's a black plastic cap. And we're going to take that out too. It's way down deep inside there, so you got to do a lot of screwing to get it up here to the top. Alright, so that's up here. Alright, so that's up here to the top. And now you should be able to see there's this little spring inside there, and we're going to reach in and grab that spring and take it out. Alright, so there's our spring, and we're going to toss that away, and we're going to replace it with the new stuff from the kit. Alright, so we got our kit. Has some instructions here. Has a little label that says it's been converted. We'll put that on the side right over here. There's a blank spot for it. And then we have our spring. So we'll put our replacement spring in there. And then we have our new cap. So we're going to try to put that on there. Once we kind of got it in place, whoops, it's easier if you tip this up a little bit. I'm trying to keep it down so you can see what I'm doing here on the camera, but I may have to let it go back upright to kind of get it in there. Alright, so now we're going to screw this all the way down to the bottom. It's going to take a while. Alright, so that just bottomed out. So once we got it all the way out the bottom, we're going to screw it back 1.5 turns. Alright, so you can see we've got our screwdriver in there. One side of the blade's about 10 o'clock and the other one's about at 4 o'clock. So I need to back it out 1.5 turns. So we go backwards. That's a half turn. That is 1 turn. And we need another half turn. So there we go. 1.5 turns. Alright, so now we're going to take our cover cap and put our gasket on there. Just roll that up and on. And then we're going to put it in place. Again, it helps to have it upright. It's not good for seeing, but it's good for putting it on there. Alright, so I'm going to try to get this started here. And it just takes a couple turns and now our cap is on there. We'll take our conversion sticker. We'll put it on the side over here. And we should be good to go. Alright, so one other trick for you in case you get these valves mixed up is the old valve for the natural gas is a bigger hole than the one for liquid propane. Alright, so now that we have our orifices changed and our regulator changed, we can put this back together. So we're just going to put this back up, get these 4 screws here started. Put our panel back on here, slide it forward, tighten it down too. Alright, so the way I'm going to wire these, I'm not going to run conduit or anything straight to these. I want to be able to plug these in and unplug them if I need to. So I bought some cord, extension cord, and I cut the female end off and stripped those wires back, and then we're going to put some wire nuts on here, wire that in. We'll drop this through here. This actually has several knockouts on it. There's one here on the bottom and on this side too, so you can have this cord come whichever way you want. But we're going to bring it in through the top. I'll wire nut these on here and we'll close that box up, and then we'll be ready to plug this in to an outlet, and I'm going to install an outlet near this so this can plug into it. Alright, so we got these wired together, and we took some hot glue and just put some hot glue here and then up here on the top to hold this in place, so that it's kind of a strain relief since I really don't have a correct grommet to fit up there.